Hey guys, and welcome to the Super Nintendo podcast number 2. If you missed the first one, make sure you go back and have a listen to it. It's a chat with Disparity Games, who are just amazing. They're a lovely family. They're Australian, and they work on video games and have worked on video games for a number of years and have worked on some amazing products over the years as well. So it's worth going back and having a listen to that one as well. Let's have a quick look around the news of the week.
Super Nintendo.
E3 coming up, and you know, a couple of weeks ago, there was a Walmart in America that accidentally leaked that a few games were coming out, so they were adding them to their pre-sale list already online. And so, yeah, I wonder if anyone lost their job over that one. I doubt it. I hope not. Anyway, it's a silly thing to lose your job over. But anyway, so it announced that we'd be seeing some really cool new games, and one of those games was Rage 2 from Bethesda. That was not the only thing that Bethesda were hiding from us. Apparently, they've been working on a brand new Fallout game as well. Fallout 76. Yeah, never mind Fallout 6. It's 76. They're just skipping a whole bunch of numbers. We don't know much about the game, apart from the fact that it is a new Fallout game. The teaser video looked amazing. So I don't think it's going to be another Fallout Shelter type game. I think it's actually a fully fledged Fallout game. Well, I hope it is anyway. And no doubt we'll be seeing more of that at E3 in the coming weeks, which will be really exciting. I don't know if you saw this one or not, but this is cool. So you know the Jimmy Fallon show? Not Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. You know, there's so many Jimmys that do talk shows in America. But Jimmy Fallon is just a talented musician as well as a comedian. And he teamed up with Ariana Grande and his band The Roots, and they did a video online, and I guess it was part of their show as well, where they all played Ariana Grande's new song. It's called No Tears Left to Cry, using nothing but Nintendo Labo instruments. So each instrument is made from only cardboard and a Nintendo Switch, obviously. And they're all being played live. The Nintendo Labo, I thought, was just a gimmick. I thought it was, it's a bit of a gimmick. I don't think I'll bother with that. But after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, actually, cool stuff can happen. Mind you have to be an extremely talented musician to be able to pull off something like that. But they had all different sorts. So they had Jimmy on guitar and piano, using Piano Studio. Also, Black Thought was on electric guitar using a fishing rod. And the coolest one, the one I like the most, is what they did is they joined two Nintendo Switches together with the pianos, because the pianos are quite small. So they've put it into organ mode, and that sort of provides the base of the whole song, and it rocks. I can't believe they did it. You really need to head to the website and check out the video. It's on dokidarko.com now. Make sure you go check it out. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have come to the party with the news. They've released a stack of Pokemon games for, just random release. They've released this series for pre-order, actually, called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which look kind of good. So we've been wanting Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch for a long time, so it's great to see it. And then as part of that release, they just gave us for free this Pokemon game called Pokemon Quest, which is odd. I've only loaded it. I haven't actually given it a great play yet. But it's block type Pokemon. It's like if Pokemon and Minecraft had a baby, that it's what it would look like. But it's not a Minecraft style game from what I can tell. I'll give it more of a go and we'll do a review of it and have a look at it. But if you haven't downloaded it yet, maybe give it a go. It's on your Switch now. Speaking of Switch, if you played FIFA 18 on the Switch, then you'd know that it is graphically far worse than the console versions, the other console versions. And that's because it doesn't use the Frostbite engine for the most part. They had to recreate the entire game, especially for the Switch. And it's not a bad game. It's really cool. It's great. You can play on the go, which is exactly what you want from a FIFA on Switch. But there's good news and bad news. FIFA 19, which will come out probably later this year, will have improved graphics on the Nintendo Switch. But it's not using the Frostbite engine, which is disappointing. The developer said, this is a quote, "However, we didn't want to create a dumbed-down version of the Frostbite engine." Ooh, ouch. I'm looking forward to this, but I don't know. I don't know if I will get FIFA 19 for the Switch. I don't think there's enough in it. Like, when you play it on another console, you go, wow, this is incredible. This is exactly what a FIFA game should be. Amazing graphics, realistic gameplay, great goals. But the Switch it didn't quite have it. So if they do improve the graphics, I don't know. We'll take a look. We'll see. Hopefully. But without the Frostbite engine, I just can't see it being amazing like the other consoles have turned into. So this week I did a series on classic games, the top 5 classic games. It was a classic game a day. It's not necessarily my top 5, it's just 5 that I really like and I have great memories about. On Monday I did, which is probably the most inspirational game I've ever played. I don't know why. It's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just a good, fun platformer, and it has RPG elements. Wonder Boy in Monsterland. It's just such a cool game. And it was the game that actually made me want to make games, although, I'm still working on that. But it's just such a cool game, and the soundtrack is just so addictive. So that was a cool game. On Tuesday, I looked at Double Dragon, which is probably one of the best arcade games I've ever played. Just a great fighter beat 'em up. The story of Billy and Jimmy Lee, and just a really cool game. It just broke the mold on what arcade games were, I think. Then we looked at Day of the Tentacle on day 3, which is a 93 game by LucasArts, and it was hilarious. It was the follow-up to Maniac Mansion, and it was a point-and-click adventure. If you've never played Day of the Tentacle, there's versions of it running around, remastered versions, and it's just fun. It is so much fun. Very funny game. Day 4 was Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, which is a real-time strategy game. It was really popular with LAN parties in the 90s when we'd get together at my mate's house. My mate Lee, who does Steam Kittens, if you've ever heard of the cosplay photographer. We'd all get together at his house and we'd sit around and play Warcraft, which is just a bundle of fun. I actually wasn't very good at it. Everyone else would just annihilate me all the time until, you break ranks and you betray your friends to win. That's how Warcraft works, Orcs and Humans. It's a great game. So you can read about that one. Duke Nukem 3D is the one we did for the end of the week. And it's a cool game. Like, there's so many great first-person shooters. There are so many first-person shooters. But, it was Wolfenstein 3D and then Doom. They sort of started the ball rolling. And Quake was a great game as well. But Duke Nukem 3D, I think, was just so controversial. It had such a great cartoon graphic feel. It was the sequel to platform games, which is just bizarre in itself. But just such a great game. And funny. So funny. We would just laugh so much. We'd play co-op. We'd play multiplayer, shoot 'em, deathmatch, all that. It was such a good game back in the day, and I just don't know they'd be able to capture it if they ever remade it. I know they tried with Duke Nukem Forever, and it fell a bit short. It's one of those lightning in a bottle type moments, Duke Nukem 3D. they're the classic games we looked at this week. If you want, tell us in the comments a classic game you would like me to look at in the future. That'd be really cool. That's it for this week, the Super Nintendo podcast. Please subscribe and like us on Facebook as well. Look for Doki Darko. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll talk again soon.
DokiDarko.com